Hey witches, what's up and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Barbie and thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please remember to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for more crystal and witchy content. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Etsy's new star seller, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the requirements to meet star seller, and eventually in the future I'm going to be making a video on if star seller actually helps you on Etsy. So let's get into the video. So at first, to be honest, when Etsy came out with star seller, I just didn't get it. The rules were really confusing and it seemed very demanding. After feeling really frustrated, I reached out to Etsy to get some answers. I had many questions like most of you probably had, and after talking to them, I felt a lot better. They had answered a ton of my questions like how does the message response rate work? What happens if you're being bullied or harassed? What happens if you're in the middle of a move and you can't ship something out? They had answered all of my questions. So I'm going to share some of their answers to you guys in this video. So once I received my stats in early August, I realized I wasn't that far off from the 95% goal that you needed in the 3 sections to actually become a star seller. I had both reached my ratings goal and my on-time shipping goal, but my message response rate was slacking. I believe I was only at 92 or 93%, and I had to be at that 95% goal. The reason for this is because a lot of people who aren't customers of mine reach out to me on Etsy because of YouTube or because of Instagram, and sometimes I don't answer those messages because I like to keep Etsy for my customers only. Because I have so many other social media platforms for people to reach out for me on, I tend not to answer those questions over on Etsy. So basically I realized I am so close to getting star seller on Etsy, so I thought, why not try? So what are some of the benefits of being a star seller on Etsy anyways? From what I learned and read on Etsy's website, these are a few things that it does help you with. Number 1, it helps customers choose you over other shops. And if you guys have been on Etsy for a while, you know there is a lot of competition, especially in the crystal community. If you become a star seller, you get a special badge on your shop that lets customers know that you offer excellent customer service and an excellent store experience. Number 2 is you get more chances to actually be featured for free, either with marketing or Etsy promoting you. That's huge because a lot of companies pay a lot of money to get promoted. And the fact that Etsy's doing this for free for your shop is amazing. That's something that Shopify, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube will not do for you for free. So that's a pretty big deal. Number 3 is opportunity for more sales. I will definitely be testing this one out and update you guys in the next few months with an updated video. Also, one thing to note is star seller doesn't affect you in search ratings. So even if you aren't a star seller, you could still show up on the first page of search results, and even if you are a star seller, you could still show up in the back. It doesn't really affect your search rating as of today, but that could change. So on September 1st, I got the email from Etsy that I did in fact make star seller. So I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks on how I was able to reach star seller. So hopefully this will help you guys get there someday if that's something you want to do for your Etsy shop. So let's talk about the message response rate. This is one of the things Etsy measures you for when they're considering you for the star seller program. So to reach your 95% goal for your message response rate, Etsy wants you to respond to all messages within 24 hours. Now that's a little intense, especially if you don't do this full time, you have a family, or really you have any kind of life outside of being a small business owner. That's a very demanding thing to ask. However, there are some tips and tricks to get around that. So here are some of the things I did. The first thing I did was go and mark all unresponded to messages as spam. Etsy doesn't count spam messages against you. So let's say back in June sometime you didn't respond to a message, go back, find that message and mark it as spam. That's the best way to help get your message response rate up. Now, the time period that Etsy is looking at for you to get Star Seller on September 1st was June through August. So it was a 3-month period that they were looking at. And I believe you have to maintain that status every month to be able to keep your Star Seller badge. So that's why I said go back to the beginning of June and mark all those unresponded to messages as spam. Also, you only need to respond to the very first message. You don't need to go back and have ongoing conversations with people. All you need to do is respond to that first message. And I know sometimes some people message you multiple things about the same item under different messages, so just respond to them. I responded to you in the other message so that you're at least giving a response and it's checking, and Etsy's measuring that response rate even though you're answering their questions in a different message thread. And if you don't typically get a lot of messages, go and ask your friends and family to message you, or even go on Instagram and make a story post about it and tell your followers to message you. Just tell them to come and say hi and thank them for it. That was one really easy way on August 31st that I was able to get my message response rate up. I posted it to my Instagram story and I had about 5 to 10 people message me, and that really helped get my message response rate up. On August 31st, I had 94% message response rate, and by the time September 1st hit, I had 97%. So those people sending me messages really helped, and marking as spam really helped. And the next helpful tip I have for you, if you're going on vacation, or if you're moving, or if you just don't want to be on call 24/7 for your Etsy shop, the best thing to do is set up an auto response. This just lets the customer know that you received your message. It'll respond to them right away, and you can set this up as many times as you need. I believe right now the max time you can set it up for is 5 days, but that should cover you over any long holiday weekends, or if you're feeling a bit under the weather, or if you just need to take a break. And you can always go back and reset it up with the same message just to make sure you have a default so you're not missing any messages. And another thing that's really easy to do is download the Etsy Sellers app. That way you'll get push notifications the minute you receive a message. It's a lot more convenient to just respond on your phone than log onto your computer each time. You can also make listings and do a whole bunch of other things through the Etsy Seller app, so highly recommend getting that on your phone if you don't currently have it already. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the 5-star ratings. So Etsy obviously wants you to get as many 5-star ratings as possible and as few 3 and under star ratings as possible, because ratings are really important on Etsy. So let's talk about how to best achieve that. Now, ratings can be really tough. They can be really subjective. You don't always get them from every customer who purchases from you, and even if you do everything right, sometimes a customer can still give you a bad rating. I think it's happened to all of us. So here are some of my tips. This was a big one that I learned from Etsy that has completely saved my business. If anyone ever leaves you a review on shipping timing, shipping delays, shipping issues, anything to do with shipping, or a third party outside of Etsy, those types of reviews are actually against Etsy's policy, and you can report them and should report them and get them taken down, because Etsy as a company doesn't think that you as a small business owner are responsible for a mistake from USPS or Etsy themselves. So if you guys have any bad reviews over shipping delays, especially with the pandemic that was going on in the past year, go ahead and report those. Etsy does a really good job of taking those down within 24 hours. Most of my bad reviews have come from shipping delays, and I went and reported them and I got them removed. Thank God, because that would have really brought my ratings down. So 100% report those reviews. They are not allowed on Etsy. And another thing to note is, even if you do have a few bad reviews, it doesn't ding you that much. You have to have a lot of bad reviews to get below that 95%. And I'll give you an example. I got 2 really awful reviews in the month of August. I got a 3-star and a 1-star, and it didn't really affect me much at all because I have so many 5-star reviews. that didn't even make a dent in my star rating. So don't worry if you get a few bad reviews. You cannot make everybody happy. That is okay. That is the nature of the business. Don't worry about it. Do what you can to solve it, but at the end of the day, don't sweat it because it won't really affect you that much unless, again, you have a lot of really bad reviews. And another thing is Etsy does a great job reminding people to come and leave reviews for you. Every time I purchase from an Etsy seller, it not only sends me an email reminding me to leave their shop a review, but every time I log onto the app, it sends me a push notification to make sure to go and leave that person a review. So Etsy does a great job pushing this for you. So hopefully you'll start seeing some of those reviews pour in. Another thing you can do to encourage people to leave a review is an incentive. Offer them a 15 or 10% or 20% off coupon to leave you a positive review on your Etsy shop. You can do this in the form of a business card, another thing that you have in your packaging, or you can even just send them a note after their purchase just to check in and make sure they feel good about their purchase. Another thing that I've done over the past year is all those great 5-star reviews that I have, I post them to my Instagram. I put them in a highlights reel so anybody who's a new customer can easily go and look through all those reviews and see that I have a great shop rating. It also gives the people who have left me a review a chance to be featured on Instagram, so I think that's really fun for both new customers and existing customers. I've generally found that people do come and leave reviews, and they usually leave 5-star reviews. So in my opinion, I think the ratings is one of the easier statistics to achieve with the Etsy Star Seller program. And now let's talk about shipping and processing time. This is another big thing that Etsy rates you on and wants to make sure you are doing. So for any order over $10, Etsy now requires tracking on everything. So you have to add those tracking numbers if it's over $10 in the United States. Luckily, if you purchase your shipping label through Etsy, those tracking numbers are automatically generated and you don't have to do anything else. If you purchase through any third-party shipping company like Pirate Ship, Stamps.com, ShipStation, or any of those companies, you can easily copy and paste those tracking numbers into Etsy, and that'll count for adding a tracking number. I do this all the time for international orders. A lot of my international orders I ship through Pirate Ship, and all I have to do is copy and paste it over into my Etsy, and that works like a charm. Also, here is a pro tip for you guys. Never pay for your postage or shipping labels at the post office. Why is this? Because when you go and do that, you are paying retail prices, which can be $2 to $3 more than what Etsy charges, Stamps.com charges, Pirate Ship charges. They are the retail rates, so you will always pay more and you will end up losing money that way. So never go and buy your postage or shipping labels at the post office. You will lose money. Only buy them on Etsy or another third-party shipping company because you will get those discounts. Now, if you haven't been adding tracking numbers, either because you bought them at the post office or because you bought through a third-party shipping company, go back and add those tracking numbers even if your orders have already been delivered. This still counts as having added the tracking number. So if you've missed any of them, go back and add them. Now for processing time, usually you have a set processing time. Mine is currently 3 to 5 days, but for some reason, if you become sick, you're traveling, you're moving like I did at the beginning of August this month, your processing times can be missed, and that does actually count against you. So what you want to do is, if you aren't going to be able to make your processing time window, go into those orders that are going to be affected and change the processing time. It's super easy to do. It takes 5 seconds. You do have to do it on the computer. You can't do it on the mobile device, but just go ahead and do that. That'll save you from getting hit with missed processing time. So just keep an eye out of your processing times. Make sure you're setting them for reasonable expectations. If you know you can't make the ship window, change your processing time in Etsy settings so that you never miss it. Even if you have to change it to 2 weeks, weeks, at least you'll never miss it. We ship out 2 times a week, so we'll never miss a 3 to 5 day processing time window. All right, you guys, that is all the tips and advice I have for you on becoming an Etsy star seller. I will definitely be making a follow-up video in the next few months to see if Star Seller has done anything for my shop and if it's even worth it. Hopefully you found some helpful advice in this video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you started off on September 1st as an Etsy star seller, and comment your shop name down below. I will definitely go and check out your star seller shops. And if you guys enjoyed this week's video, please remember to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for more crystal and witchy content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye! And before I go, a special thank you to all of my patrons. You keep this channel alive and running. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, I will leave a link in the description box down below. This is a great way to show support to the channel, or if you're looking for additional business advice, I offer this as well. So I look forward to seeing you on my Patreon.